morning, everybody. Pastor Randy Fry, Gower Christian Church, right here from Studio B in the massive Gower Christian Church media complex here. And you are watching 7 Minutes with the Savior. And let me show you the countdown. I started a few seconds late, but that'll keep me honest today. This week during my devotional reading time, the devotional book that I use gives me a psalm for the week. And the psalm this week was Psalm 107, which is one of my favorites. It was a psalm that I referred to often in 2016, the summer of 2016, when I was between ministries. It's a great psalm, an encouraging psalm, particularly in challenging times. But here's something that we don't think about very often, I don't think. That the Psalms were Jesus' prayer book. If Jesus had a devotional book per se, it would have been the Psalms. They were already public, they were already in circulation and used in festivals and as a part of worship. But the Psalms were Jesus' prayer book. I don't know, in Holy Week, especially coming up, when we think of Good Friday, we think of one of the 7 statements that Jesus makes on the cross is, my God, why have you forsaken me?" And a lot of people take that to mean that Jesus felt abandoned by God. But what he's actually doing is quoting a part of Psalm 22. He was experiencing the physical pain of crucifixion and the emotional pain of being humiliated. It was a horrible moment for his earthly life. And so he goes to his prayer book, to something he had memorized, Psalm 22. And the gospel writers record, the first line of that psalm. But if you read the whole psalm, it does get to a point where it expresses deep trust in God in the midst of very trying circumstances. And so Jesus is praying. That was part of his prayer. And expressing his very human place at the moment of pain and humiliation. But it's also, he would have gone further, in his mind at least, if not out loud, to the places where this psalm expresses deep trust in God. Psalm 107 for me is one of those great psalms. And I encourage for any follower of Jesus, any Christian, to regularly spend time in the Psalms. Probably every situation you can imagine that you experienced, the joy, the celebratory joy of the birth of a child, and the celebratory joy, for example, of God's provision and experiencing that, to laments over physical pain, over betrayal, to times of confusion, bewilderment, disappointment, to the joy of family and the joy of neighbors and being in community with other people. All these different, you name a situation in your life, there's a psalm that gives words to that. And like I said, Jesus, this was his prayer book, and we see him on Good Friday, on the Friday he's crucified, going to that prayer book at a time of anguish. Let me just read you a few excerpts that have stood out for me. I've been, like I said, I've been reading it all week. And just remembering again some of the great words. Here's Psalm 107, verse 15. Let them thank the Lord for his steadfast love, for his wondrous works to the children of men. Here's one that spoke to me. I can relate to this. Because part of Psalm 107 is the trouble we get ourselves into, the trouble we experience. And this one stuck out to me a couple of days ago. Some were fools through their sinful ways, and because of their iniquities suffered affliction. I understand that, man. My sinful ways have caused a lot of pain and anguish to family and friends and to me personally. So I get that. I get that sometimes I'm a fool in my sinful ways. Then here's the verse I wrote down today that stuck with me. This is Psalm 107, verse 9. For he satisfies the longing soul, and the hungry soul he fills with good things. Man, that's good news. If our soul is hungry, if we want to abide and be nourished by Jesus, who's the bread of life, who gives the nourishment that we need spiritually and emotionally and physically, again, God's provision. If we seek that and abide in it, our souls will be satisfied. Our longing soul, the thing that we want more than anything else, will be satisfied. The hungry soul he fills with good things. What a great promise that we get from the Lord. But I commend to you the Psalms. If you have not been a person that spends a lot of time reading the Psalms, get more familiar with Jesus' prayer book. And I think there are those times when you don't have words for prayer, and the Psalms often can supply those words for you. All right. Shock. I'm going a little over. Hey, coming up this weekend, we've got a work day. Saturday morning starts officially at 9, but I understand there's cinnamon rolls and coffee at 8:30, so come a little early, get some homemade cinnamon rolls, and then to help spruce up the church and take care of some of those jobs around the church that need to be done just to keep it in good maintenance, good order. So that starts at 8 on Saturday morning. Sunday worship at 10:30, and online or in our sanctuary. And then we have youth group for all ages, 3rd grade through high school. That starts at 6 o'clock on Sunday night, 6 to 7:30. And we're going through our small group time is addressing, noticing God, paying attention to what God's doing in your life and in your world. And it's a great theme for this time of the year. We've got Holy Week services coming up in a couple of weeks, with Maundy Thursday service, and then we'll have an Easter sunrise service that the community will be welcome to on Easter morning at 7, with a breakfast that follows, and then our worship service at 10:30, our Easter morning worship, as always, in our sanctuary, but also online. So I hope you'll join us for any of those things. You're welcome to them, and start penciling those in now. That's it today. God bless you. Until we meet again online or in person, I bid you peace.